What's going on, everyone? So Los Angeles Lakers have a real opportunity here. So they are currently sitting at 5-4 on the season, which isn't great given that they started 3-0. But nonetheless, they have the Toronto Raptors today, which got to handle business today at home. Then you have the Memphis Grizzlies at home, and they're not going to have Ja Morant, more likely than not. So he is week to week with a grade 1 pelvic muscle strain. So he is very likely going to miss some time with that injury. Now, it is the Lakers, so you never know. Guys, we see all the time, like, lose their leg entirely, and then all of a sudden they're healthy and ready to go. But Grizzlies likely going to be without Ja, likely without guys like Desmond Bane. So that could be a real opportunity for the Lakers to gain some traction there. Then you play the San Antonio Spurs, who I actually really like the Spurs this season. I think that they are definitely a team that you have to beat now. They're like, where last year they were just like, yes, circle the board because it's a free win. But the Lakers should beat the Spurs. They should absolutely beat the Spurs, even though they are on the road. Then the New Orleans Pelicans. They're not going to have DeJounte Murray, and Zion Williamson just got hurt, and he's expected to miss a few weeks, right? So, again, you're going to get bailed out with the Grizzlies injuries, Pelicans injuries. Then you have the Spurs and the Jazz in between, right? So you have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that you should win. Like, Lakers should be bare minimum going into that Orlando Magic game 10-4. Because you should beat the Raptors and the Grizzlies at home, especially without Ja Morant. Then you have the Spurs and the Pelicans, who you should both be able to beat, especially with the Pelicans not having DeJounte Murray nor Zion. And then the Utah Jazz are the worst team in basketball. You should be able to beat them. And then you go at home against the Orlando Magic. Right? Like, seriously. Now, obviously, look, it's a game at a time. You got to start with the Raptors game. You got to go in. You got to handle business with the Raptors. Look, Lakers were in control pretty much start to finish that first game. Lakers were in good shape. It wasn't a game that I ever felt like they were going to lose, but it was a game where they took their foot off the gas. It also was their only road win, by the way. But it was a game that, yes, I know people look at and go, Lakers only won by 6. But again, watching that game, it felt like it was a game that the Lakers were like, okay, we're going to win this game as long as we half show up, which isn't good. And we saw the lack of effort continue, right? So, like, that actually turned out to be a kind of foreshadowing sign, which wasn't good at all. But, again, the Lakers, if they handle business and they show up, they should beat the Toronto Raptors. Hopefully it's not something where LeBron James has to do everything, right? Like, you know, that Toronto game was one of those games where LeBron James and Anthony Davis were basically the dominant guys. D'Lo, actually, that was a game that D'Lo was really good in too. I know Reeves had 20 in that game, but Reeves also was 0-6 from 3 and 4-13 from the field. It was 12 points off of free throws, so really only scored 8 points. D'Lo was 7-13 from the floor, 3-6 from 3 that game. And then, like I said, LeBron had 27, 6, and 10, 9-17 from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3. And then Anthony Davis had 38, 12, and 2, 14 of 20 from the floor, 2 blocks, 3 steals, only 3 turnovers. So yeah, this was like a big LeBron James and Anthony Davis game where they combined for, 65 points, 18 rebounds, and 12 assists. So hopefully this is something where the Lakers are able to kind of have a better balanced attack and you're not having to put so much pressure on LeBron James. But also, you know, again, look, we need the other guys to show up. I imagine that JJ Redick is going to stick with the D'Angelo Russell off the bench and Cam Reddish into the starting unit. So that's good. Now, at least at the time of recording this video, we don't know if they're going to get quickly back for the Toronto Raptors, right? They have Bruce Brown, who's still supposed to be out, Kelly Olynyk, Scotty Barnes. Those guys for sure are out. But we don't know if quickly, and also, I hope I'm saying this correctly, but Mogbo, he was he was actually very good for them last time. He's kind of like undersized center, but nonetheless a guy that can make some noise, right? We saw him play very well against us, unfortunately. But again, it's really going to come down to the other guys. D'Angelo Russell, he seems very committed off the bench. We've seen him in the past coming off the bench, pouting and crying and throwing a hissy fit and, sending cryptic tweets. And this time he said, I'm committed and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help this team win. I'm committed to the Lakers. He said the right things. He hasn't pouted. He said, I left all the baggage when we changed coaches. Basically taking another shot at Darvin Ham, which kind of leads you to believe that maybe it wasn't so much D'Lo didn't want to come off the bench as it was he didn't want to come off the bench for Darvin Ham, right? Like him and Darvin Ham didn't really see eye to eye, where JJ Redick, he's kind of like, D'Lo seems more bought in to JJ, seems more committed and willing for JJ, but it was great. I mean, he gave you 18 points off the bench, which, to put that in perspective, the Lakers as a whole are averaging 20 points a game off the bench. They are 30th in bench points. So for a team to average 20 a night, and D'Lo came in off the bench for the first time and dropped 18, that is huge. Right, look, if D'Lo can buy in, and if he's really willing to, maybe go out there and be sixth man of the year, D'Lo, that could be massive for the Lakers. Like massive. Because now you get better balance, you get better defensive balance in your starting unit, and now you kind of get the uptick in your bench unit on the offensive side of things and bench scoring. Also, D'Lo gets to kind of play more of his game because you can rest Reeves and LeBron and then kind of let D'Lo man and run the second unit with like Anthony Davis at times. When Christian Wood gets back, they get you another guy that can go get you 17 to 20 a night. Right? He's a proven 17-6 guy off the bench for various other teams. JJ Redick can kind of get him back to being that kind of guy again. Then yeah, like the Lakers would be in excellent shape in that regard. Again, it really comes down to, again, the other guys. When the Lakers play the right way, they win. It's a simple concept. When Lakers get 30 plus assists, right, have, under 12 turnovers, it's not some like crazy turnover stint, they win. Right? But when you look at things like the Cleveland Cavaliers game, right, you're not winning very many games having 21 assists and 20 turnovers. You're not beating anybody. I don't care how good or bad the team is. We've already seen this team lose to Detroit, so you can't put them losing to anybody, right? Like past it. Like, I don't think anyone would be shocked if Toronto came into LA and beat them. Good thing is the Lakers have been very good at home. I mean, they're undefeated at home. But you also have to be a team that can win on the road, right? Anthony Davis is having a spectacular MVP level season, right? But you need to take pressure off of him, right? He's still going to do Anthony Davis things. This is his team. He's going to be the guy, as he should be. But, you also don't want him to have to overexert himself every single night. You want to make it as easy on him as possible. So hopefully guys are buying in, doing the dirty work, helping rebounding, helping defend, right? Like, so that way Anthony Davis can do what he does best. He's already dealing with little nagging injuries and stuff like that. Obviously, that's part of the game. You're going to deal with that. But you want him to be able to not have to overwork himself, is my point. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think this upcoming stretch for the Lakers is really good? Do you think that they should handle business? Because like I said, if you get through these games, Toronto, Grizzlies, Spurs, Pelicans, and Jazz, it's 5 straight games. You should win all 5 of those games. You should. So now you're 10-4, and then you have the Magic, the Nuggets, the Suns, the Spurs, and the Thunder for your last 5 games to close out this month. All right. So again, the Spurs you should be able to win, but the Magic, the Nuggets, the Suns, and the Thunder, that's a tough matchup. You gotta win in this spot. You have a real opportunity here to really gain some traction, gain some leverage in the standings here. Don't blow it. Do you feel like they will? Do you feel like they won't? Obviously, it starts with Toronto. Got to handle business against the Raptors. You're at home in LA. This is a team that you just beat on the road. You should be able to beat again. Do you have concerns about them? Do you worry about LeBron, AD, team as a whole? What do you think of Anthony Davis or D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench in that six-man role? Do you think he's really going to thrive in that role? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.